Perfect. Well, welcome back. We are finally back. This is the Jenni Jenni Who Can I Turn to podcast with Let Them Thursdays, and Delilah is joining us. I posted a couple weeks ago that we were going every other week because wisdom needs time to kind of marinate. And I'm glad that we took extra time. I don't know how many times I have listened to these two chapters about adult
Yeah.
relationships.
Oh yeah.
And I think primarily it's never been a thing for me. So
Huh.
whether it be because in my young adulthood, I was getting in trouble, early young adulthood, and then I was a mom, and then I was married, and the core friendships that I had from back then, there's only a handful, right? I still have today. So
Oh,
it wasn't like how Mel talks about growing up in a neighborhood and you get to do life with your friends who have children. Like I've
sure.
never had that experience. So it was definitely harder for me to connect these two chapters. I loved the information. I love the three pillars of friendship, and I think that stands true in
Yes.
all seasons of life. But even like for you, I look at you and your adult friendships. I just marveled at you when we came to visit you, and you were like, "Yeah, I want to go see my friend at this music festival." And me and Corey look at each other and I'm like, how'd she get friends already? And you just hopped on Facebook and met people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean,
Yeah.
like how I mean the two chapters basically are um the truth no one told you about adult friendships, and the other one is why some friendships naturally
Fade.
fade.
Yes.
I think that's just reality. But what I really loved at the beginning of, before this section, she talks about the more you let people be who they are, the better your relationships will be. And I have found that true in this season of my life. I wish I would have had it earlier, but I just
Sure.
couldn't relate. How are you with adult friendships?
It's been very, very rough. Because as she talked about in chapter 11, that our childhood trains us that friendships would be easy. And as an adult now, moving to a different city, learning new people, learning to, jump in and try to make new friends, it's really, really difficult because of timing and because of energy and because of proximity. She talks about all those things. And I found that even though the more people I reach out to, I have to take it into consideration that life happens, but I also don't want to be the only one that's interested or and reaching out. And I feel like a lot of people these days are surface level. If you don't
Mhm,
make
mhm.
a type of job or if you don't have a kind of lifestyle that they have, again, it's been around for years and it's not as easy as it used to be.
Mm.
And so I will make intentional text messages. I will reach out. I will try to do things with people and make a connection. But if I don't feel that that's being reciprocated, I'll definitely move on elsewhere. So that's something I've had to. I give people grace by all means. I
Sure,
know that.
sure.
I know that. I know I give people with good intent, but after so long, it's just not for me. I don't
Mhm.
want to be the only one that's constantly reaching out. But I have found a very old school group of friends who aren't from this country, who have the same values as my family did. So that's how we've connected. And it's through food. Yeah. So those are the same girls that, I've talked about before, the one with the food truck. We connect with another girl and she's obviously not from here. And it just was this. we happen to all come together and we do barbecues. There's
Wow.
Yeah, there's no like leaving anybody out, and there's no miscommunication or anything like that. There's no jealousy. No one forgets to text you back. It's a group chat. As a matter of fact, the other day I reached out to them because I was I was just it was just my life, or my heart was heavy on Monday. And it's been
Mhm.
heavy for quite a while because of the passing of my mom and closing the chapter with my daughter. So I was like, wow, yeah, I have a boyfriend, but there's something that's missing, that girl connection. I need to feel validated. I need somebody to emotionally validate my feelings. So I
Mhm.
reach out to the girls group and I explain what's going on, and we have like, a group chat. Well, a random girl, I don't even know, I didn't even have her number saved, but said, "Who the hell is this? Who the hell is the in the group chat?"
Ooh.
After I had texted that. And that girl who created it, which is Nicolette, I'm close to her, we've hung out like twice, immediately removed her. Immediately took her out. And she's like, "I'm so sorry about that, Delilah. We don't need this in this group. I apologize. How's your day going?" And that right there, she stood on business and showed me that she has good intentions and that she is going to represent our friendship in honor, and so, and with total respect. So she can call that out, and I need people like that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I hugged her and I was like, "I love you for that. I love you." Like, that was
Yeah,
so
that's
freaking cool.
crazy.
It's crazy how people just immediately come off the
Be-
handle for
Because it
for
sounded like you were vulnerable.
I was very vulnerable. And the way that the text that I sent was just, like I almost vomited all over this group chat. Like, "Hey, I can really use some girl time. Like, this is what I'm going through. Please let me know what your guys' availability is." And "Who the hell is this?" is not what I was expecting. That's like
Wow.
that's like an enemy, or like a
Mhm.
old fling or something that replies like that. Like, I don't know who you are. Who the hell is this? Like,
Right.
randomly, like I threatened them or something. So it was just, again, I've had a very hard time even trying to build new friendships that just haven't been connecting. And then I was just like, wow, okay, well, I've been the only one reaching out. Nobody's
Mhm.
responded to my socials, like when I comment on their post. I try not to take that personal, but
That's
at a
key.
certain point, you're just like, "Okay, I'm doing all the commenting. I'm liking all your stuff. I'm reaching out to you." At what point do I say, "All right, that's enough"? Like, I feel like I'm begging at this point.
You you have to know what your tolerance level is.
Oh yeah.
And I found out, gosh, it was after the divorce. I was dating the youngin, and I got introduced to some friends that I knew back when I was a young adult, and my life kind of went off rails. And it was nice, but we all had a friend in common that was sick. He had Lou Gehrig's disease, and I grew up. So you'll understand where this is, where El Cerrito Road, right past the 15, right
Okay.
there. He lived in a corner house right there. He was good friends with my brother. He was, he became a part of my life, and so after a young adult, they all hung out, and I started being in that circle. And there was just some, I think like drama started to happen. I wasn't really understanding some of the stuff that was going on in regards to him. He was just so special, and he just lived the rest of his life the way he wanted to. He just wanted to drink and party and
Yeah.
gamble,
Yeah.
and we had all been at a party, and and there was just a miscommunication between me and this girl, and I was kind of at the same time going through my own changes, and I thought, you know what, I need to remove myself from the circle. And I made the mistake, I didn't realize it at the time, of unfriending her on Facebook.
Oh.
And I mean, and yes, it was a choice that I made, right? I was
Yeah.
removing myself, but I didn't, and I think we've talked about it in the previous weeks. I didn't understand like what a statement that was to her,
Oh, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
because like that's her life. Like she posts everything, and if you're not gonna be a part of my Facebook family, we're not friends. And I mean, to this day, she still has me blocked, like, oh, literally. Um, and that was like so foreign to me. So now I know, like, I don't. I mean, unless you've done something really wrong and I don't want
Yeah.
you in my world, I just unfollow now,
Yeah.
right? And so I don't spend a lot of time. I go on social media and post something if it has to do with me and the kids or grandkids, not necessarily kids. I
Mhm.
learned that early on. The grandkids is something in my life, or I use my business page if it's a tool or a teaching of that sort, because social media is so
Powerful.
yeah, and a lot of people have a deep connection to it
Yeah.
where I don't. And so when you said that, like, I like that, I like posts, like I do all the things, and I'm not, and none of it's getting reciprocated. It almost feels like you're begging, because I don't think
Yeah.
you have the same sort of relationship with social media that most people do. But it's interesting to me
Well,
how.
I
Go
know
ahead.
that some people are on it as much as I am.
Sure,
They
I'm
will,
on it.
yeah, and they've responded before, but when they respond to other comments and don't respond to yours, that's
Yeah,
almost like that
that's
jab,
hard not to take
or that
personal.
that's,
Mhm.
yeah, and that's, and again, this is not my first rodeo. I actually
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
falling out with some girls back home, in Texas, not in California, but in Texas. I had a falling out. Um, we didn't unfollow each other. We didn't block each other. We still see each other's stuff.
Mhm.
I comment and reach out. We don't talk as friends anymore, but I comment. I make a point to acknowledge their post
Okay.
with zero expectations. So I don't expect her to do it back. That's
Mhm, mhm.
showing you that I will always be here for you. I will always cheer you
Mhm.
on. Whatever happened, happened. I'm over it. You don't have to be, because
Right.
you cut me off. That's great. That's fine. You don't have to like every post that I put out there,
Sure.
but I will like everything that you put out there. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But I think that's sort of different in the sense of you guys had a relationship. There
Yeah.
was a falling out, so you kind of know where each other stand. But
Yeah.
when
We
you're
know where we're
trying,
at. Right.
yeah, when you try to build new stuff, it could be
It's, yeah,
frustrating.
it's very frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, this whole social media thing is not something that I am new to or blocking
Mhm.
or anything like that. I just choose wisely now who to follow right away, who to like their stuff right away, because
It's a thing.
it
There's
is a
like a
thing, and it can
there's a
totally
whole
take a
science
toll
to
on you.
it.
Yeah, it can totally take a
Yeah.
toll on you immediately. And I just want to be, I want to hold on to my peace. I don't want to give it away. And that's one of those things that you can't really look too much into. But then again, I'm just like not interested anymore. Like, I'm not interested in these superficial friendships where you're like, oh, I want a best friend. I think we have a lot in common. I think we should change each other's social medias. I think it's great. And then all of a sudden, boom, either you do something or something happens with them, or we don't, there's something that they're not saying. There's
Right.
something that they're not saying where you're no longer an option for them, or you're no longer in their, in their whatever, and that's fine. But your expectations were there, and that's the problem. Your expectations were like, oh, well, maybe we're going to start hanging out, and you start inviting them places, they decline, but you see them out somewhere else with other people, and you're just like, oh, all right,
That's hard.
cool. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
hard. It's almost like getting rejected by a guy. It's
Wow.
right there. But the friendships, it's harder because you want a deep connection with a woman. You want a friendship like a sisterhood. And it's so really hard. It is. It's hard.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. I'm thankful I'm not in that season where I'm trying to make new connections. I meet a lot of people and I know a lot of people. I just have a very a core group of people,
Yeah.
and not that I'm not open to meeting new people, but I also at the same time, I don't do a lot of things in this season in my life.
Yeah.
I serve, I attend groups, I really valuable my alone time, you know?
Yeah. And I
Mhm.
think that's eventually where I will be.
Eh,
I did talk to another friend who mentioned a couple things to me and kind of like was brainstorming a couple ideas when she was like, maybe you can go help out at a shelter. Like maybe you should do like marketing, like not, kind of like where they go and I don't think it's called marketing. It's called where they go to the like events and I want to say marketing. It's like
is it networking?
networking. That's what she said. She's like, maybe you should go network. And there's all kinds of like different groups. And I'm like, that's not a horrible idea. Like that's actually a good idea, so that you meet face to face and that's how you build a connection right away. That's how
Mhm.
you know you should get somebody's number or you should ask them to follow you. So
And you're bold like that. The fact that you met her, your friend, I forget her name with the food truck, like you just met her on your local
yeah.
Facebook chat, and that's beautiful.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it was out of so many hundreds of girls who either just doesn't respond, blocked, just never followed through with an invite, or you just get so many people who don't commit. And it's
Wow.
like that one or those two, now I'm gravitated towards them, obviously, because they've weaned out all the superficial people that say they want to hang out or they say they want a friend or they say they want a workout
Mhm.
partner,
Mhm.
or whatever they say. I've weaned them out and then I held on to these two girls who are just amazing. Yeah.
I love that. I love the way she responded when that person, like,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
immediately moved her.
Immediately removed. Immediately
Done.
gone.
I love it. I
I loved
love
her too.
that.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome. That's exactly what I told her. I was like, that is the kind of energy I will always need.
We all
Because
need that.
Yeah, because you know what? There's a lot of times that I don't always want to be the aggressive immediately,
Mhm.
and sometimes I kind of need somebody to help me stand up for myself
Mhm.
because I feel like I've been around a lot of disrespect and I just don't immediately want to jump off.
Sure.
Yeah, so I
Sure.
just immediately always want to be kind and I just want to give people the benefit of the doubt or I just want to hear it. Like why what made you say that? Like, like why?
And you don't want to be in any sort of situation where like it makes you think you want to throw down. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like those are fighting words. When you're vulnerable and somebody comes at you
Yeah.
like that, like I'm immediately am like I want to punch you in
Defensive.
the throat, you
Right.
know?
Right. Cuz did nothing I just say like click?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even like a, hi, how are you? I'm so sorry you're going through this, but can you remind me who you are?
That would have been wonderful.
That would have been something.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But
you're
I
in this season of actually doing the doing the damn thing with adult friendships.
yes.
No, you
Yes, these
are.
chapters are definitely right there to the core. I've mentioned before, I have had some fallout, so I know what not to do. And I know that everything's like, I think with girls or friendships in general, I don't I don't treat them like family. Well, the problem is that I feel like they hold loyalty and I
Mm,
can tell them everything in secrecy even if it's like I just wanted to vent about the other person. We just need to have this little conversation really quick, but the
right.
problem is they're not family and they're not loyal. And
Hmm.
if you don't know them very well, that's where things get crossed.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, she was talking about you the other day and she said X, Y, and Z. And it's like, we all say X, Y, and Z behind each other's back. You just never know. We just vent. It's a
Mhm.
thing. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
But with family, it's like this unknown, you don't
It's
even have,
sacred.
yeah, you don't even have
Mhm.
to say, like, don't say anything. Don't
Right.
ever tell me not to say anything because we're not going to say anything.
Right. Say
It's
what?
just the way we're built.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that another situation was, us three were in a group chat. Um, it's just two of my cousins, and one of them had a little bit of a crash out and was just saying some really hurtful things about another person. And I was thrown back, and of course, me and my other cousin are like, what do we say? Like, what? How do we? We're we're so thrown back, and we're just like, how do we handle this right now? But she apologizes a couple days later, and she's so worried that we were going to go say something.
Say
And I
something or judge her.
yeah, and we said, we're like, it's okay to feel how you feel if that's what you're feeling. It's
Mhm.
valid. But I think that stress has a lot to do with what's going on.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know, but I don't want my family actually knows that I can hold secrets. So,
Mhm.
I mean, just good or bad doesn't matter. Like, I'll take them to the grave because you're my family.
Yeah. Right.
Why don't I think that, see, and the problem, I expect that for other people, and you can't.
You
They don't know.
cannot.
They don't know how. They don't know how.
Mm-mm.
They
No,
feel like
I've got
they're
my save like, and it's different because there's like there's ministry, right? And it's not necessarily gossip, but I need to process,
mhm,
right? I need to process what just happened, and there's just one person that's safe to do that, and then I've got safe. A safe person that I just have to process everything else out. So it's not necessarily talking crap, but it's processing. Like I need to process sometimes.
yeah,
Sometimes I can work it out on my own, and other times, if it's continuing to circle, I need to process it out loud so that
yeah.
I can, let it go for the most part. But
And that's how I feel. Like, the
Mhm.
same thing about how I'm trying to engage with different people and I'm not getting it back. I feel like I have to just talk about it. That way it's no longer an issue for me. No
Mhm.
longer feel left out, or no long that way I can just let it go, and we can just continue to be friends on Facebook, and we can move
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
yeah, done. Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you. That's
Thank
just
you.
amazing that you're doing it. Really, I think this past year I started to develop a friendship with a gal, and it's been bittersweet. It's not, we're a little bit older, and so there are no real expectations, but we just enjoy each other's time and
Mhm.
genuinely care for one another. And that's been kind of sweet because it's a new friend.
Right.
But because I don't just listening to some of the stuff that Mel went through,
It's
and
the
like
things that we go through, which is
vulnerable,
wild.
yeah,
Yeah,
wild, just
wild.
yeah. So I'm glad we took extra time for these chapters. I know life has been busy, for the most part for both of us, and I think it needed the time that it has taken,
Sure.
but and you're still in the season
Yeah.
of building these friendships. I
Yes.
don't know that I'm not necessarily in a season where, I think about going out and meeting people, and I'm in a season where I'd rather not. I'm not there.
And
So the
I'm
ones that
not scared. And so, as a matter of fact, when we did go out the other night, she
Mhm.
brought these other beautiful ladies that were in the group chat that had never met. I think maybe one of them I saw online and stuff. And I actually genuinely got along with all of them.
Love
And
it.
I'm like, yeah, this is what, and then they're going out tonight and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I have FOMO." Like, I
Do
really wish I
you?
yeah, because they're such a good time,
I
such
love
a good
that.
time. And it's not like where it's starting to click and everything's separate. Like, that's not it at all. It's
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
Everybody's there. So I'm like, dude, this is like the pack that I need
Yeah.
to be,
Good.
and
And
show up with.
Cheyenne is doing stuff, and she's a young adult, and she's, had been going out and meeting people, and I love that for her. Just the
Yeah.
boldness it takes to do that. It's especially like you said, it's hard to find a tribe that can be like open and deep and vulnerable
Mm,
because that's what you crave, and it's not surface level, but at the same time, it's also not petty.
yes.
Right? It's just it is what it is, and like Mel says in the book, it's accepting people for who
Were
they
who they
are,
are. Yeah.
right where they are.
So, and that was to bring to your point of people being vulnerable. When we did meet up, there was this Latina, and she said, "I just want to tell you now." And she didn't say it mean. She just said, "I am not the emotional friend that you come to." She said, "If you
Love
want
it.
to come have a drink, if you need to drink your sorrows away, I'm here for you. But as far as like the whole mushy and you're crying, you don't know what to do." And I'm like, no, I probably won't do that with you guys because I don't feel that, like I just needed what you're saying is that time away, that to clear your
Mhm,
head, to have a drink, because it's super new.
mhm.
It's not my safe space where I feel like I could be vulnerable with somebody
Right.
like you. Like new. I can't,
Yeah, yeah.
I have to feel
No.
that deep connection, in
Yeah.
order for me to
Yeah.
feel safe crying in front of you. Because
Yeah.
I think the way that we were raised, and she's Mexican, oh, not Mexican, but she's from El Salvador, I think. And the way we're raised is that's weakness. So they don't know how to process emotions. They don't like when you
Mhm.
cry. And I posted something similar today. Is it's okay to cry, but we still don't think it's okay, even though we say it's
Sure.
okay.
Sure.
We still
Yeah.
know in the back of our heads these random girls are going to take it as a weakness, and they're
Mhm.
going to jab later or they're going to dig later, and you just can't
Mhm.
you can't really give up all your cards at once. Like that's just not.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. I love that you're continuing to just lean into it. I do.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I'm just not in that season right now, and that's
Oh
okay,
yeah.
you
Oh,
know?
it seems like every chapter that I get into is something is happening in that moment. Like it's literally happening to me now. Like, and I'm
Yeah,
just like, wow.
that's
That's why I
good.
wanted to read it again. I
Well,
was
I
I was
I want
definitely
to
needed to.
I want to suggest because the this section of the book is made up of 3 chapters, so I think we should take the next 2 weeks just to really go, especially for you, and it'll be good for me too. But the next chapter is how to create the best friendships of your life.
Yes.
So let's take the 2 weeks to kind of ruminate over that because then a whole new section opens up.
Yeah, it's totally off of, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be good that we take just that chapter and really, you
Dig it.
know, dig into it, take some notes, um, because Mel's just got such good wisdom.
She does, and that's why I need to listen to it over and over, take notes. I have my notes in front of me. There's a lot of good things that she says a lot of
Mhm.
good things, and proximity was one of them that stood out to me because
Mhm.
all of the friends that I have made in Texas, I'm no longer there. California friends, I have friends in Nebraska. I met an amazing gentleman on the plane. So funny because he's a guy, but we talked for hours
Really?
on the
When you went to Vegas?
on the way back from Vegas. And mind you, we were like both hungover, but had
Sure.
the best conversation. And this girl turns to us and she's obviously hungover. And she's like, when the plane ride's over, she's like, if you guys had a podcast, I would listen to it every day. And I'm like,
I love it.
we just talked and talked and talked, and he turns out that he's this, nerd, and he just like has a PhD, and we just clicked, and I was like, okay, well, we got to get connected on social
Is
media.
he in Nashville?
He's in Colorado, so that was where my layover was, and I was like, that's perfect. We can go back and forth. I got Nashville, you got Colorado, like that we can do this, and just
Love
like
it.
yeah. So I can make connections like that, especially when I feel the energy, because like I just made one comment and it turned into this long back and
What
forth
was your comment?
conversation.
Do you remember?
I do. I asked him, "Why did you choose the seat closest to the window? Normally men choose the aisle to have more space." So I kind of
Leg room,
chuckled.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they want the leg room, so I thought it was kind of funny. And he's like, "Oh, well, the scenery and all this other stuff." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but I just thought, you're tall." So I thought all men wanted to be on the aisle. And he's like, "No." And then from there, it just kicked off and we just didn't stop talking the whole time.
I love that.
Yeah. So
Good for
I
you.
don't think it's hard for me to make friends. I think it depends on the person and what they're looking for. So if I'm
Mhm.
not like what they're looking for in a person, that's when it becomes a connection. And
Mm.
yeah, so that's what I'm starting to learn because it was easy to talk to him for 2 hours. It was easy.
Yeah, but how many people think about asking that question and don't? It takes boldness that you did.
I guess it does. I guess it
It
does, but
does.
I'm the type of person that always wants to say what's on my mind. Like
Yes, you do.
I always got to say it cuz I'm curious. I want to know like why.
I
And s- and
love that.
and some part of it is a little bit of a jab, but just a little bit like.
Well, it's a little bit of shit talking,
Yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah.
then but there's nothing wrong with that. That's ingrained in who we are.
Yeah.
But I love that you were bold and asked the question. That's the biggest hurdle, you know,
Yeah.
that you
Just to
want
get
you
over that.
want to have those connections, even
Oh
if
yeah.
it's just on a layover, you know? That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I do want to read something from chapter 12,
Okay.
why friendships fade. So there's three things that I did write down. Before you walk away from a friendship, assume good intent. So assuming good intent means maybe you guys are just not equally yoked, or maybe that you are not ready for that friendship or connection in that time, or maybe it's just not meant for you. But always assume good intentions, especially when it comes to a friendship, and just
Mhm.
let it go as is.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's not personal that they become distant. So that's another one that's
Mm.
digging deep.
That,
It's like don't take it that it's directly directed at you, even though it's happening to you
right.
so many times with different individuals. Don't take it personal. That's
Yeah, we
just
have no idea what the other person's dealing with or going through.
yes.
Hmm.
And how quickly or often somebody responds is not a sign of how much they care about you. That one is very, very important. I'm on the podcast thing. I can, oh my goodness. So that one's important because I have friends or even children that take forever to respond.
Mhm. Well, that's an but so are you expecting them to respond sooner and that's where you get hung up?
I respond fast or as
So you're
fast as I
expecting
can.
people to be like you.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine that you're on your phone all day and you
I get
can
it.
just completely ignore the text and the next night be like, "Oh, yes. By the way, yeah, I got your text." Like a whole business day later. Like, what did you get in an accident? Like what happened? Like but I'm like that. So it's
Yeah.
hard to not expect people. I don't hold that for my brother and my sister-in-law because they're bad at it. But again, when people do it, it's almost like that kick. It's like, why? I don't understand what is
And
so
you
hard to
will
acknowledge it.
you will never understand because you're not that way.
Yeah.
You will
Yeah.
never understand. Especially with clients, I tell them, right, because I'll just get something and I text people, right? And I tell people right off the bat because so many people have shame about being slow responders. They feel bad about it or that they get in their head or whatever. So I tell all my clients or even in ministry, like, please, I'm alleviating the pressure. If I'm texting you, it's because I want to text you. I'm not expecting a response. If you want to
Mm,
respond, go ahead, but I alleviate the pressure from you and I'm going to keep my peace. So, and the only person that used to really get under my skin about not responding, I share children with.
yes.
And I got to a point, I said, turn on my read receipts.
So
I
I know.
don't
Yeah.
I don't care if you respond. Like, I don't
Yeah.
need a response from you, but I need to know you got the message. And so when it comes back where I didn't see that. Yes, you did.
Yeah. You
Yes, you
read it.
did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I don't like to be in the space. I think as a young as a teenager, I don't know if you were this way, but I would stare out the window waiting for the boy to
Yeah.
come, right?
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, he's coming." And then early on when phones were a thing, because I'm from a generation that I didn't have a phone as a
Cell
teenager,
phone. Yeah. Yeah.
so I don't want to stare at my phone waiting at and looking at the bubbles or
Wow.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't like that feeling at all.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
It brings up a lot of, I mean, and I recognized it years ago when phones just came out. It would bring up this, like, I'm not enough for you to respond to
Yes.
me. And so now I have done work in that area. My value isn't
In the
conditioned
response. Yeah.
on their response. My value is in who I am, and I'm going to text you because I want to text you. I'm not expecting you to respond to me. And
Okay.
if I need an answer from you and you're not responding, here's a small little example. Today, I dropped off Maverick at school. I didn't know the code to get into
Hmm.
the door at school, right? They weren't responding quick enough. So I called.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, why aren't they responding? I know they have their phone,
Yeah. Yeah.
all the things. I just call. I could, because like you're learning, I just don't want to give up my peace that freely anymore.
Yeah.
It just like in that icky space of, like, I must not be that important. I know they're on their phone.
Yeah.
I don't.
I know that they respond to their husbands or boyfriends fast enough. So I know they respond to their friends fast enough. I know that there's a lot of responses being had,
Yeah, except
and
for
I'm
mine.
not. Yeah, I'm not one of them. So
Yeah, yeah.
open the door. Yeah, she's already defending herself. It's not true.
I don't respond to anybody.
Well, you should.
Unless it's important. Unless you're telling me, hey, I'm dying, I got you.
Close the door.
Yeah. And I also think that's their generation. I don't
I think so
like
too.
Dakota. He has his read receipts on for me because he's a young adult and he's living his life. So I don't expect a response from him. If it's important, he knows I'll call.
Yeah.
Shy's pretty good at responding, but she doesn't respond to anybody. And I had to have, and you've probably had this with yours, like, if I'm texting, it's sort of
It's
like
for a
when they were
reason.
it's like when they were growing up. Do you remember doing this with her, or
Calling.
maybe your mom did it with you? I would call their name,
Yeah.
and they'd say from the
The
back of the
other
house,
room. Yeah.
"What?" And I'm like, if I'm calling your name, it's because I need you to come here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. And I kind of
And
felt that way with the text. If I'm texting you, I
I
am
need your, yeah, I
I
need your
need a
attention.
response. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's hard with the kids, but Dakota, that has Grace Shy's so much better at it, and Core has her read receipts on. And I know that if Core doesn't get back to me, she's busy. And this is what I also tell people, eh, clients, ministry, whatever. Unless I'm asleep or in a meeting, or with my family, I will always respond
Yeah.
because that is who I am. And because it does, I know how it feels to be on the receiving end of waiting for someone to respond.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't, we in soul care, we had this training, and it was about when people reach out for help. and it was a reenactment, and like it's so difficult to reach out for help. And then once you do, you're staring at your phone,
Waiting. Yeah.
waiting and waiting and waiting. And so we, within, soul care and ministry, you're to respond in 24 hours. No,
Oh, okay.
you have to. Otherwise, like I've removed people from teams, because if you can't commit to do that, I don't want anybody sitting in that space.
Yeah.
It's such a vulnerable space, you know? So I get it, I do, but I am not giving up my peace for none of that. I mean,
Yeah.
like in the dating phase, it's, you do that, right?
Yeah.
Until you when you learn people's rhythms. I'm not going to say that I wasn't staring at the phone when I first started dating Tim, but
Yeah.
now, like, I no, you'll text me back or don't. I said what I had to
Yeah.
say,
Yeah. The only one that it really truly does stress me out is like my daughter. If I need that answer and I'm like, I texted you while I was going to, leaving work and it's already almost time. I needed an answer so I can go to the store and get what I needed. But
Mhm.
again, let them,
Yeah,
whatever. So I get
yeah,
here and it's no big deal. I'm not mad.
yeah,
It is
yeah.
what it is.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I have to get better at just kind of letting people respond or don't respond. It's really sad too because I think people don't have to realize this, but I do. So the people that I've was really close with, they went to my mom's funerals. Like I was close to them in high school and I still tried to keep that relationship going. But I was the one reaching out and I was sometimes not getting a response or just
Mhm.
wasn't committing, but they did show up. And I wonder if they feel some type of way because they
Mhm.
don't, and there was another one who said, I'm so sorry, I didn't know she was sick. And my cousin said, how would she know? She don't talk to you.
Mm.
Yes. And that I was like, but nobody ever wants to open that and actually take a deep dive at themselves and say,
No,
you're
they
right.
don't.
You're right. How would I have known? I declined the calls. I never accepted. I never went out. Every time we reached out, it wasn't reciprocated. You would take too long to respond. There's one
Oh,
that I actually do connect with out of the three, and I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know, I just thank you for all the support. That even though it's on social media, we do go back and forth and just like each other pictures. We click back and forth, and so
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
I'll DM her and I'll connect with her because that's who's responding to me and that's who's giving me the love and the support and so
Yeah.
I took the time to appreciate her a while ago. I said, I just want to let you know that we were close, in high school, and I just want to let you know that you still kept that going. Even though
Mhm.
that the proximity is not there anymore, you never let it stop you from showing your love.
Mm.
So I just want to say thank you because I haven't felt that with the other ones. So,
And that's so important that you do that.
yeah.
That's how you keep friendships alive.
Yeah.
And not everybody has the capacity to do that, and that's okay.
And that's
Let them.
okay. Yeah, everybody has a life and everybody has busy things going on and I get it. So, it is what it is. But yeah.
Very good. Well, I loved these two chapters. I loved listening to them over and over and over.
Yes.
There were, on some levels I couldn't relate, but the wisdom was still so good.
Oh yeah.
And it was just different growing up. I still have a, elementary school friend, and we're not, but we do like each other's posts, and when stuff happens, we show up for each other. If she needed me, I'd be there in a second. Uh,
Yeah.
but it's just we're in different seasons in our life, and that's okay. But
Sure.
but I love her. I don't know
Yeah.
if I shared that, and a girl I went to junior high with, still, Facebook friends, what have you, and I went to see Jelly Roll and Post Malone with. Did I already tell you this?
Oh, no. In
Okay,
Vegas? Was it in
yeah,
Vegas?
yeah.
Nice.
And so we got up to go to the bathroom, me and we went with Tim's sister and her daughter. Uh, and mind you, only Facebook, never met this man. And I walked to go to the bathroom, and I'm leaving, and we don't want to miss the show, and we're there for her birthday. But something told me that's Amy's husband.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what? And like, I couldn't keep walking. I
Yeah.
couldn't. And I turned back around and I said, "You're Amy's husband, aren't you?" And he just was dumbfounded. Like, how do you, I'm like, "Where is she?" He's like, "She's in the bathroom." And I said, just tell her Jenny Shepherd said hi. And Sarah, who I was with, she's like, "No, you gotta go say hi. You gotta go say hi." And he's like,
Yeah.
"How did you know it was me?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just did. I just did." Yeah. So
That
like
is
even
wild.
yeah, even though like the proximity is not there, that
Yeah.
like all the things, like we're still connected on a deep level, and it was just beautiful. I ran in and gave her a hug, and we
Aw.
like have like the best intention for each other.
Right.
And there are those friends, and so I'm looking forward to really gleaning from the next chapter
Mm-hmm.
of how to
Moving forward.
create. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be wonderful.
So I do have a friend that is in Nebraska, and our bond was so close when we were in junior high
Mhm.
that even when we were separated because she moved to Florida, we always, and I had my little mishap when I was, in my 20s, we
Mhm.
always gravitated right back to where we were. Always. We can pick up the phone today and
Yep.
get right back to like where we were. So I think that even though I'm searching for friends and even though I'm searching for that connection, I still have a very, very deep connection to her.
Yeah,
Very, very deep.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can laugh like hyenas all night long, and it's
Those
just
are
the best
like deep
thing.
soul
Yeah,
ties.
they
Mhm.
are deep soul ties, and
Mhm.
their mom and their sisters always felt like family. I would stay at her house for weeks when I was in junior high school, weeks.
Mhm.
And when we get mad at each other, I was like gonna go downstairs in my separate area, but I never chose to leave. That wasn't
Right.
even an option because I loved her and I loved her family and I loved everything about being there. So it's just
Love
amazing.
it.
So it's a good thing that I have what I have and I appreciate it so much.
Mhm.
It's like one of a kind though, because
Yeah.
you don't get it often.
No, you don't.
Some people don't even have it or don't get it at all.
Yeah, very true.
So,
All right, my beautiful Delilah.
all right.
I'm gonna this I think we're both kind of made up, so these will be some fun videos that are clips that'll be made,
Yeah.
and it'll go live midnight Thursday
Sure.
morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wednesday night, Thursday morning, whatever that is, and we'll do this again in 2 weeks and go over chapter 13.
Perfect. Love
Okay,
you.
I love you too. Bye, baby.
Bye.